Hello, everybody! Welcome to another episode of Vtuber Gaming Talk. My name is Darius, if you don't know me, and thank you for the follow, real quick. Thank you for the follow, Sin. Really appreciate it. And like I was saying, I'm Daenerys. I'm the host of this show. Well, technically the host. I usually let loose a lot on this show, so the host can be either me or my little friend over here, Moelle. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. My name is MontyMoelle. I'm a crazy little mole VTuber over on twitch.tv/MontyMoelle. I do voice acting, I do music, and I play video games, and that's kind of what I do.
Cool. Hold on. I need to do something real quick because I think my headphones are picking on my mic on OBS. So hold on.
Fantastic.
You love to see that. Okay. Let me lower the volume over here. There we go.
Yeah, by the way, totally didn't oversleep. That's not why we're late. That's not why. No.
No. No, technically this is on me.
I totally don't do this all the time. Totally don't do this all the time. Nope.
I thought I missed this because time zones so have submitted in time. I'm from Noelle's crew. Ooh, welcome.
Yeah, mod. That's one of my mods.
Oh, cool. Good to see the crew here. So yeah, technically this is supposed to start an hour earlier, but it's no problem. I always leave a wide open time frame, so if something like this happens either to my guest or to me, I can work with it. So yeah. It's no issue. Besides, this is not the first time it happens. It happened on my second episode too, to myself. So yeah, I'm no stranger to this.
It happens. I'm good. I'm ready. I'm well rested. At least we can be sure of that.
Okay. Let's start with simple. Like the normal question I ask everybody here is, what games do you usually play?
So on my stream, in fact, here I'll even pull up my Twitch about section here. I try to keep it like kind of three different categories of game. One is some sort of Mario situation, because that's like what I have my entire channel themed after all. Two, some sort of like Twitch like baby rage game. In this case it's like Dark Souls, but any other sort of like indie or PC game sort of situation. And then three, some sort of game that I can play with other people for like big collabs and stuff like that. Example most recently is I did Power Wash Simulator with Wukiki and Madame Gata.
Cool. Okay.
So those are the three types of games that you will often see me play on my streams.
What about your free time? If you cannot stream for any reason, or you have free time to play another game, what games do you like to play then?
In my free time, I play absolutely fast-paced, balls to the walls, like twitchy, like first-person shooters.
All right. Okay, that's.
I'm a Quake nerd. I played Quake when I was a kid, and so like that's what I do in my free time.
All right. So basically, Quake, maybe a little bit of surfing in TF2, something like that. Oh
yeah.
All right. Then I'm curious. In what genre do you consider your favorite then? It can be just FPS, but I'm pretty sure there is more.
I mean, that's such a difficult question to like pinpoint a single answer to. Mm-hmm. I really like games in so many different genres. Like I grew up with like platformers and like action RPGs, and like I kind of moved into first-person shooters as like my kind of go-to, just like turn my brain off game. But I don't know if either one of those are my favorite. I just like games. Games are cool.
You can have more than one. And in fact, in one of the previous episodes, one thing we did was just pinpoint 5. Like
5 different
genres. Yeah, because and my first guest and I were like really undecisive on which kind of games we like, because he ended up picking up action games, which are basically hack and slash and beat 'em ups together.
Sure.
Then fighting games, then platformers, then if I remember correctly, RPGs or something like that.
I guess in that case, then the two genres that really stick out are what I said, like platformers and shooters. And that includes multiplayer, single player. I'm like picking up Splatoon again, which you could say is both of those things. Neon White is a recent favorite because it is both of those things. So yeah, there you go.
Have you tried Ultra Kill?
It's in my Steam library right now. I haven't installed it yet, but it's on the list to be played, yes.
Wow. I have a friend of mine that is obsessed with that game. It's amazing how fast and how the movement you do in that game is so crazy.
I am a sucker for cool movement stuff. Like that's like what I look for in games, is movement that is fun to do. So yeah, that I already know. Like, I haven't even touched it yet, but I know I'm gonna like Ultra Cal when I eventually play it.
Hell yeah! I still need to buy that thing. I own to myself that.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else I have on the docket? Any indie games that you will recommend that you played recently?
That I've played recently. I already mentioned Neon White. It's like a masterpiece. I fucking love it. If you really love like really fast paced like platforming, it's got that in spades. And then it's also just like a really goofy visual novel on top of that. Like it's wonderful. I love it. Other indies that I've played recently, Wobble Dogs is very much not in the genres that I've just been talking about, but oh my god, it is such a joy to just create these like horribly just like disfigured little creatures and clean up their shit and like it's so good. It's so silly. It's one of my favorite things ever. Wobble Dogs, easy recommend. I'm trying to think of like smaller, maybe lesser known indies that I really like. So one of my favorite games that I like have grown up with is like Super Monkey Ball. And there's a game on Steam right now called Rolled Out. And it's basically just Super Monkey Ball, but on PC and on Steam, and with a bunch of crazy different characters. It's fantastic. I cannot think of another game that captures the Super Monkey Ball experience better than Rollout does.
Huh.
There you go. Another easy recommend right there. And Celeste. Everyone knows to play Celeste, though. Celeste is fantastic.
Yeah. Wobble Dogs is so silly, god.
Yes, it is! I need to play it again on my stream. It's so good. I love it to death.
Yeah. In my case, I recently like started playing a few like new releases of multiplayer games like Multiverses and Rumbleverse. And I have to say, for the first time I see a concept like of a fighting game into a battle royale, I'm loving it. Like no tomorrow. Rumbleverse is an easy recommend.
What was the second one that you said? Rumbleverse?
Yeah, that's the one I'm mentioning right now. Rumbleverse is a battle royale wrestling game, in which basically the objective is just knock out your opponents until one last standing. It's so fun. is actually so fun because it goes with the cartoonish style and super exaggerated moves. It's so fun. Then you have Multiverses, which is basically Warner Bros. Smash Bros. But
yes, I have been playing a bit of that too.
I had a lot of fun with that game lately, and I'm enjoying my experience there.
Yeah, I am liking it a lot. I have a lot of history with Smash Bros. As a series. I wasn't like a Melee nut or anything like that, but like I just grew up with the series, and I think it's wonderful. And I think Multiverses is a very interesting take on the formula, because like Smash Bros is very much balanced as like a 1v1 game, and Multiverses is very much balanced as a 2v2 game, and like the different characters have like support roles sometimes, and like I've never seen anything like it, and it's really cool.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. I think it's neat.
You get two different characters depending if it's a 1v1 or 2v2. Some characters have extra passives and extra buffs they can add to others depending on the 2v2 scenario. It's so good, actually, yeah.
I am, however, sick and tired of battle passes. God, I hate battle passes. It's the fucking worst monetization model.
Yeah.
For free-to-play games. I hate it. It's the worst.
The worst part is Multiverses doesn't have a story yet. I'm waiting for that, specifically.
A story mode?
No, a store. Like,
a store!
Which makes stuff, buying stuff more easily.
Yeah. Agreed wholeheartedly.
Oh, God. But yeah, still though, for just a pure cosmetic battle pass, I'll take it. Since the perks are only unlocked by the characters themselves, it's fine. And you can have every perk if you want on whatever character you want.
If it's it for you, then more power to you, my man. I'm not into it. I'm not into it at all.
Understandable. It's basically League of Legends is a fighting game. It's basically that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Another indie game I usually like to recommend is Hover. It's technically Hover Revolt of Gamers, the full title. It's a Jet Set Radio inspired cyberpunk futuristic platformer in 3D that I usually I need to replay it on stream because the HUD might be the worst HUD you ever see, but the gameplay is fun. But the gameplay is super fun. Super fun. Super fun. You got the speed, you got the flow, you got the grinding. It's perfect in that regard. I love it.
Let me look this up. Hover. Huh. Interesting. I've never tried any like the Jet Set Radio games or anything like it really, but I always hear that they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of those lame kids that like didn't. Okay, so first of all, I was a 2000s kid, so the Dreamcast was a bit before my time. Second, I was like one of those weird like Nintendo kids. Like everyone in like the schoolyard was like, "Oh yeah, but Xbox, PlayStation, yeah, Call of Duty." And I was like, you want to play Mario Kart? I got a Wii at home. And so I have felt painfully left out of like Xbox or PlayStation exclusive titles my entire life, even to this day. I don't have either one of those.
Understandably so, because in my case, I was the opposite to a Nintendo. I was on the PlayStation side mostly, since I grew up with the PS1 and PS2 and other consoles. But in my case, I grew up with platformers, but I ended up looking up on the internet about other games, like other series and all of that. I ended up learning about Nintendo and all of the games. I ended up learning about Sega and all of the games.
Yep.
And I have to say, yeah, you can play those nowadays, hopefully thanks to emulation or just re-releases of all those old games, and I love that.
Oh yeah.
Also, seeing says here, I played Jet Set Radio on Steam. Definitely fun, if a bit janky, but it's an old Dreamcast port. Yeah,
I've heard that about it too.
it's hard as fuck. Yeah, it's hard as fuck. Yeah. But it's a good time. Like, the music is super good. The gameplay can be really, really good if you like get used to it. Can be really fun to do combos and all of that. It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hover is kind of like that, just a little bit less janky and a little more fluid, if that makes sense.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at the Steam page right now. It seems pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put this on my wish list.
Hell yeah.
I do not have the money to blow on video games right now.
I mean, me neither. I just left my wish list on my about page. Wing wing. Just leave it there.
That's funny.
Yeah, because since I cannot have a throne due to some situation down here, I just leave that there. It helps with the content at the end of the day, so yeah. But yeah, another indie games I usually played were the Guacamelee games, which I think are categorized as Metroidvania type of games. Yeah, I love those. Like, that series itself, I love it. It's super.
What was the series again?
Guacamelee.
Oh yes. I again another series I've heard a lot of very positive things about, but I haven't actually tried myself yet. I should have included Metroidvanias in one of my favorite genres because they're more recent like discovery for me. I think I like first like discovered Metroidvanias through what was it, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow on the Game Boy Advance, like in like 2018 is when I like first played that. And I've been like hooked ever since. First of all, it turned me into a huge Castlevania nut. Like I could like go on for hours about like all of the different games in the series and like the lore of Castlevania. So that's one thing that game has permanently. I'm not normal about Castlevania anymore. And second, it made me like very much into Metroidvanias. I love those kinds of games now. It's a very addicting gameplay loop for me.
That's super fine. In my case, I am like that for two series specifically, which are Persona and Yakuza. And I started with Yakuza 0 and Persona 4, so technically didn't start with the first games. So yeah, you can start whenever you want, as long as you like the series and enjoy the other games. It's super fun.
100%. 100%.
But yeah.
As I was on Steam, I noticed Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is discounted 50% on Steam right now.
Oh,
so
shit.
if you are a FromSoft fan and you've been looking at Sekiro, buy it now. It's $30.
Yeah, go grab it. It's a good time.
Have you played Sekiro?
No, but I have a friend that invited me to play it a few times, and I played it a little bit. But yeah, Souls-like games are not my type. I played through at least 10% of Dark Souls 3, and I didn't like it.
Aww.
Although, I like the mechanics. I like the fact that I can just dodge every attack almost. And if I time and angle my dodges really, really well, I can just take advantage of that. But aside of that, I don't like it.
What were the things you didn't like? What were the things you didn't like? I'm like curious now.
Okay, so for context, I'm going to use two games for this. First is Dark Souls 3, and the second one is Neo. The first Neo, not the second one.
Okay.
The progression on Dark Souls 3 was super tough. Like, at least for my point of view, when I lose and I die, I lost almost everything, except for my weapons, if I remember. But the souls for leveling up and all of that end up on spots that are either really hard to get again, or practically impossible to get because, well, fell off a cliff.
Huh.
But in Neo, on the other hand, I can recover my stuff almost every single time. There is no issue because I can feel the progression there. But they put me at the beginning of the level every single time, unless I have somehow reached a checkpoint, which by that time it passes a lot of the level. And you can always go back to the beginning of the level easily, like in Dark Souls, you can do that. And in terms of like level structure and all of that, I have to admit I like more the level by level separation that Neo has compared to Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a more interconnected world, and that's cool and all, but I prefer the classic level structure.
That's fair. That's super fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm super new to Souls-like games. I'm playing through Souls 1 on my channel right now. And I went into it incredibly skeptical and like fully expecting to be like tortured and like hate every second of it. But I've actually really fallen in love with the gameplay loop and the just trying things over and over and picking myself back up and like figuring out the patterns, and it's great. I really love it. It actually really reminds me of like old like when people talk about Dark Souls, they talk about difficulty a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's fair and everything, but I don't think it's a game about difficulty. I think it's a game about like learning.
Yeah.
And it really reminds me of like old, like it reminds me of like Mega Man or like the old Castlevania games or something like that. Because
you have to learn
like
patterns. It's
those
basically
are two
that.
completely different gameplay styles, but it's all about like learning a pattern and repeating it. It's there's a lot more to it than just that, but like that's what it ultimately comes down to.
That's the core. Yeah. I noticed that when I played it, both Neo and Dark Souls. You have a boss that has patterns. The way they use the patterns might be randomized or not, depending on the AI, but at the end of the day, all of that is patterns. All of that is just learning the patterns and how to avoid them or how to deal with them.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Speaking of Souls-like, there is one that is coming up soon, and I'm really intrigued of how that will play, and that is Lies of P.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, it's a Souls-like game based on a steampunk version of Pinocchio.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, I said the same when I saw that, and that looks good. That's the worst part. It's a steampunk version of London. In the protagonist is Pinocchio, but with the cybernetic arm. And the bosses and the enemies look really good. Like they are all like steampunk robots and really big monsters that you need to fight.
Interesting.
Yeah, it seems that the mechanic hand can be exchanged for a weapon or something. I don't know. But it looks fun. That's all I can say. It looks fun.
What was it called again?
Lies of P.
Interesting. I am looking at this right now. This is very interesting.
It's intriguing to say the least. Then there is another one that is looking to be a Souls-like, but not at the same time. I don't remember the name, but it's based on the whole mythology of Wukong.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That one, for what I saw a few trailers ago, has you playing as Wukong with all his abilities, like the transformation into different stuff, the clones from the air, the infinite stretching staff, and all of that.
Huh.
Seems super fun too.
Interesting, yeah. I'm like looking at the trailer for Lies of P right now, and this looks incredibly silly, and I really like that.
I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I also... I've heard a lot of people that are, like, very skeptical about, like, quote-unquote Souls-like games that are not made by FromSoft. There's a certain, like, flavor. There's a certain, like, I don't know. There's a certain thing that those guys put into their game. It's probably drugs. It's probably crack. I don't know. I don't know. The only other Souls game I have experience with, aside from Dark Souls 1, and there are people that would argue that this isn't even really a Souls-like game. It's, the hell is it? It's Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, that's it. That's kinda a Souls-like game for what I saw. It looks like it, at least.
People like to call it baby's first Dark Souls.
The fuck?
And how many hours do I have of this? I have like 6 hours in that. I haven't like played very much of it. And I last launched it like years ago, so I probably need to give it another try. But I do recall that like the feel of that game compared to the feel of Dark Souls is very I don't know how to describe it other than like it felt like looser, floatier. I don't know. Not as like even just the simple act of moving around and dodging didn't feel as concrete in Jedi Fallen Order as it did in Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, like the movement is pretty simple, but it feels very concrete. And that's what I appreciate very much about it.
Oh.
I don't know, I could be talking completely out of my ass right now. Like I said, I haven't played Jedi Fallen Order in years, so who knows if I have any clue what I'm talking about.
I mean, I'm not calling you out. I didn't play the game at all, so you have more experience than me in that regard. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking about my experience with other similar games. So and the gameplay trailers and all of that I saw, but besides that, I cannot talk about that like in depth as much as I want to. But yeah, Souls-like games are starting to like stagger a little bit. Oh, speaking of Souls-like games, have you ever tried Bloodborne?
Oh my god. Every single person, when I tell them, hey, I'm playing through Souls 1 right now, they immediately follow that up with, have you played Bloodborne?
You saw that coming, did you?
I did. I didn't tell you, but I did see it coming.
Of course.
No, I haven't played Bloodborne yet.
Have they?
I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play Bloodborne.
Okay,
it makes
so
me sad. I desperately want to play it.
Okay, so follow-up question: have you ever knew about the Bloodborne remake the fans made?
Yes. I know of it very well. It's cool. It is super cool. The developer of that, Lilith, is like, on top of being a very talented game dev, is just one of my favorite people on Twitter. And I've been like following her Twitter ever since learning about Bloodborne PSX, and I'm sure you know about this, but she's turning it into Mario Kart.
Yeah, I saw that. I want to play that
It's the
so
best,
bad.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Fucking Bloodborne Kart. I love it to death. It's fantastic.
Me too. Oh, that would be so fun.
Everyone watching right now, go follow Lilith on Twitter. She's great.
Hold on, let me look for her on Twitter real quick.
Yeah, here. I probably... Where the fuck? Yeah.
Here it is. I have it. I think
Botster. Botster.
There we go. Buster. On the chat. Okay,
Yeah,
so...
she rocks.
Yeah. Okay, this project, like Bloodborne card or whatever, it looks so fun. I wonder how it will play though, because it seems that to have items just like Mario Kart, but this item seems like weapons.
Yeah, there's like guns in this bitch. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, this will be Road Rage or Burnout type of game. Oh, that would be so cool.
A little bit.
Oh, that would be so cool. And on the PS1, that will literally chug the PS1 out.
Yeah, no, I have been watching the development very, very, very closely. I am desperately excited to like actually play a build of it on stream.
Oh, me too.
It is gonna be so cool.
I'm literally waiting for that demo to drop. I'm really waiting for that.
I think she mentioned though that I don't think there's gonna be online multiplayer for it.
You know what?
Which is sad,
Yeah.
but
Parsec.
I understand like developing multiplayer modes that work online is a very like technical like problem for indie devs, so like
yeah,
I'm not like upset by that, but god, I want to play Bloodborne Kart with my friends on the internet, my little friends on my computer.
Have you ever heard of Parsec?
Yeah, no, yeah, I know you could do it through Parsec and like split screen, but like I also don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's split screen at the end of the day. That I can barely see I can barely play Crash Team Racing on Parsec. I can barely see my fucking car. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I've used Parsec for many things before. It works well enough. I actually long before I did VTubing on my channel, I did this thing where I had myself and another friend doing like a competitive like Pokemon Nuzlocke, where like at every gym the two of us would like battle each other and whoever lost had to like release like one Pokemon of the opponent's choosing.
Wow.
And I had it set up where like I basically oh wait, I can't talk about this on stream. Never mind.
DMCA, okay, it's fine.
I'll tell you about it afterward.
I mean,
piracy's bad.
Oh, don't worry about it. In my case, I would like to try that because that seems like you have your second rival.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You have a second rival that literally can kill a Pokemon. We are literally just making the situation of Pokemon 1, like Pokemon Red, into a mechanic for a type of Nuzlocke. That's actually really, 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 really good. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's cool. It's brutally hard. We like didn't finish it, but it was cool nonetheless.
I mean, you can lose your best Pokemon at that or your starter. So yeah. Imagine if it was randomized.
That is exactly what happened.
If it was what happened. If it was a randomizer, that would be even like harder.
God.
No.
There are other ways to do multiplayer Nuzlockes that are probably better than what we tried there. But,
have you ever tried a Soul Link?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. I haven't tried it myself, but, I do know that that is a thing that a lot of people enjoy doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to experience the game. You can do a three-person Soul Link if you want, just to cover all the starters.
Yeah!
But, yeah. I still need to, like, grab a few of my friends and do one of those. But it's hard to move 3 people. It's really hard.
No, it can be difficult sometimes, yeah.
Besides, time zones are really difficult to deal with sometimes.
Oh my god, yeah. Fucking tell me about it. One of my best friends ever is Soda Snub. And I like want to like do stream things with her so bad. So bad! But yeah, living on opposite sides of the planet sometimes makes that kinda hard.
True. I mean, in my case, I don't know if which hour is for you, but for me, she streams like at 7 a.m. I can barely catch up with her.
Oh my god.
So no, I cannot. No, not with work and homework to do, and I cannot be alive at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Not even a week. But yeah, Snap is great.
Snub is awesome. Shout out to Soda Snub. Hey Snub! If you're watching this right now, I love you. Mwah. We should collab sometime.
Yeah. What else I have in the docket? Oh yeah, I'm seeing here. Have you ever played a Phoenix Wright game?
Oh my god! Yes! In fact, let me tell you something here. So literally right before I started doing VTubing stuff, I was co-directing a Phoenix Wright voice acting project. We were gonna do like you've opened Pandora's box. Yes, it goes on it. Phoenix Wright was like my biggest hyperfixation for a while there, and yeah, I co-directed a voice acted like dub of the first game. The project unfortunately died, but it was really fun. We had a whole cast. It was gonna be cool. It was gonna be cool. We never finished it. We never finished it, unfortunately. But God, yes, I love Ace Attorney. Absolutely, yes.
Oh man, it's funny because I need to play still for the first 2 games. I finished the first 2 cases of the first game. If I remember correctly, the first game has 3 or 4. But I finished the first 2 of the first game, which...
What made you bring it up just now? Did it hit that song in the playlist?
No, I just saw it on the playlist, like the name. And I needed to talk about that because I like the music on Phoenix Wright games. I really do. But I still need to play them.
Having a good soundtrack is very like instrumental to me liking a video game or not. Like if your game has like fantastic mechanics but a kind of mid soundtrack, there's a very good chance I will probably not be interested in your game as much.
A funny story about that, one of the reasons that made me want to play Yakuza in the first place. Yeah, we love you too, Snap. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we literally were just talking about how awesome you are.
Yeah, of course. So, keeping up with the story, one of the reasons that made me play Yakuza in the first place was the excessive spam of Bakamitai memes that rolled out the internet. I ended up just buying.
That was like single-handedly responsible for introducing an entire audience to Yakuza. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
It's great. And one of the reasons, since I play fighting games and I need to like pick up a fighting game, but since fighting games usually are really pricey. One of the criteria I need to like extend to fighting games is your soundtrack is good or not, your characters look cool or not, or the mechanics look enticing. So I need a lot of criteria to just choose a fighting game. So
a lot of indie projects, I feel like, underestimate the importance of like really good. Well, okay, I actually won't say that. I won't say a lot of indie projects underestimate how important music is, but I do think that is very much the case. There's a lot of I'm also like a huge like Undertale Deltarune nut. Deltarune is probably my favorite game of all time right now. I've seen a lot of like Undertale and Deltarune like fan games that like try and focus really heavily on like the battle system and like the mechanics of the game. And I learned through playing these fan games that Undertale has pretty like bog standard gameplay. The gameplay is not what makes Undertale special. What makes Undertale special is how the writing ties in with the gameplay. It's the writing. The story is what makes Undertale. And also the music.
Well, yeah. The mechanics and the writing are one together at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
you cannot neglect the writing if you're making a fan project of that nature. So don't forget about writing if you're making an indie project. It's more important than a lot of people realize, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's super important depending on the type of game, but yeah, because I don't know if you need a really extensive writing for a fighting game though. But yeah,
no, you don't need extensive writing, but I still think you need quality writing.
Yeah, you need quality writing,
even if it's pretty sparse.
Yeah,
even if it's pretty sparse, I think it's still important.
Yeah, you need a reason for those characters to fight in the first place. So yeah, you need something to motivate those.
Absolutely.
I still like rubbing around the idea of making one myself, but it's just ideas for now. It's just a storm of ideas I have, and I really want to make it happen someday.
Cool.
I have the opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how like a lot of my favorite games recently are games that are very like writing heavy. Even though, like, what I told you, like, in my free time, I usually play games that are pretty detached from story. Like, I play crazy twitchy shooters. Like, I play TF2. And, like, writing is important in those games, too, but not nearly as much. My favorite games of all time recently have been games like Deltarune, The Stanley Parable, which are both games that are like so story heavy and writing heavy. It's cool. I probably like wouldn't have said that those are my kinds of favorite games like 5 years ago even. But I love them now. So hey, I think that's neat. I think that's cool.
I mean, a good story always is essential to hook up a player in most cases.
Yeah.
In my case, I also like games like that don't rely heavily on story, and I can just play it like Doom, for example. Doom has a story, has a really deep lore about the demons and all of that, but who cares? Like, in that case, who cares? I'm the demon. I'm the Doom Slayer. I am there to kill. That's all I need to know. But in some cases, a good story, it's a good hit of fresh air when you have a lot of games that are fast-paced and just go to point A to point B. So, yeah.
I will say, probably one of my... a game that has been on my favorites, like, list, like my top 10 list, probably for the longest time, has been Half-Life. Like, the games in the Half-Life series. Those those, it's hard to put to words how much I love that style of storytelling, that like very immersive like story happening around you rather than being told to you situation.
Yeah, you're living the life of Freeman there. Yeah,
it's so good.
Ooh.
It's so good.
Oh, the Black Mesa remake the fans did. Oh, that looks
Black
so
Mesa
good.
Is awesome. It is so great. Have you played it yet?
I need to. I have a friend that literally pushed me to play it a little bit on his house, and oh shit, that looked good. I mean, I played the original. I played the original a lot, and I enjoyed my time. I didn't ended up finishing it, but I ended up playing it a lot, both multiplayer and offline, like in the single player story. And I enjoy my time there, and I wish I could have Black Mesa right now so I can play it on stream, but I still need to like prioritize some other games first.
That's okay. Here's how I like to see it, because I don't think that Black Mesa is like better than Half-Life. I think there's a few things that it does better, and there's a few things that it does worse actually. So I think it's so important to play the original and enjoy the original. You play the original for the gameplay and for the experience and for like the really tight level design. And you play Black Mesa to get more immersed in the world and in the story. Because the level design in Black Mesa is like altered. It's like a little different. And there's a few decisions that they made that I'm like, yeah, was that necessary? Did you need, is this better? I don't know if this is better. But like it goes without saying that like visually, it's a massive improvement. And it can get kind of hard to immerse yourself in Half-Life 1 when it looks like how it looks. Like the Half-Life 1's visuals have not aged well. I think that goes without saying. And so it's hard to immerse yourself in it anymore. And that's where Black Mesa comes in. I think Black Mesa is really great if you want to immerse yourself in the game and the story.
Which is what I'm planning to do, because, like I said, I played a lot of Half-Life 1 on multiplayer, and I'm...
Yeah.
Thank you for the follow, Snap.
Stab!
I'm literally insane. Just realized not following. It's the second time. Well, whatever. It's fine.
Don't worry, Snub. I literally followed right before we started the stream.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't like reminding people to follow me because I feel bad about it. But yeah. Thank you for the follow, Burger Bro. I'm literally here regularly. Do you? I guess so. But yeah. Like I was saying, I played a lot of Half-Life 1 multiplayer because one funny thing that happens in my country is that on schools, they started giving away little laptops so we can do homework on them. So the guys just decided, hey, let's play Half-Life on LAN. Since we are all sharing the same like red of connection, let's just connect to all on one single laptop and let's all play Half-Life.
Oh hell yes!
That was some really crazy high school years.
Yeah.
That was some crazy high school years. And I have to admit,
maybe it's just because of poor research. But what country are you from actually?
Argentina.
Argentina.
Latin America.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. And funny thing is that I ended up starting a new trend when it comes to playing games on school, and I ended up starting a flat out tournament by accident.
Oh hell yes!
Flat out 2 tournament, and it was so fucking fun. I love that.
Yeah.
It was so funny because
that's awesome.
Yeah, we ended up starting 2 technically, one for racing and the other for derby. And that was chaotic as fuck.
Yeah. When I was in high school, I would host these like Smash Bros tournaments at my house, and like everyone would like bring like I don't know $5 to put into like a prize pot, and it would be like this big thing. I'd like make a bunch of food. It was fantastic. And I would try to do it like every like 3 months or so, every 4 months or so. And yeah, that was. Man, I like haven't thought about that in a while. Thank you for reminding me that was the thing that I did.
No problem. I did something similar, but instead of Smash Bros was Budokai Tenkaichi 3, that Dragon Ball game for the PS2 and Wii. Well, we ended up playing a tournament with 4 people, no prize pool, but still a neat little thing we ended up just doing for the sake of it, and it was fun. I ended up winning that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, as Burger Bros says here, Half-Life as a game is amazing, but its tonal shifts in the narrative and the NPCs not having much depth leaves it missing something that Black Mesa really adds to the table.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Black Mesa really makes Half-Life 1 feel a bit more like Half-Life 2.
Which is...
in many ways. In many ways. And I think that's great.
Speaking of Half-Life 2, I need to play through the episode 1 still.
Yeah,
like I played
me too. I haven't played through the episodes yet. I feel like such a big fan.
I didn't play those because one, I felt good with the ending. Like it's an ending, but I still need to play the episode. Just for
promise.
The sake of playing it.
I'm bad. I spoiled myself on the story of the episodes. I promise, if you liked the story of Half-Life 2, the episodes are gonna fucking rock your world. You need to play them.
I might do it on stream now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people that ended up buying the orange box way later after it got discontinued from Steam. Just because I wanted to...
You can still buy the orange box on Steam.
Can I? I thought that was discontinued and ended up putting all of those games in different packages. And...
No, I literally just bought the orange box for a friend for his birthday, like, a few weeks ago.
Oh well. Okay.
Yeah.
If I ever needed to buy it again, I'll look into it. Wow. I ended up buying it on second hand, but I ended up getting everything. Like the special hat on TF2, Half-Life's episodes, and Half-Life 1. Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah, I ended up getting a really good deal there.
Absolutely. I think you can get it on Steam. Here, wait, I'm looking it up right now. Orange... Uh-oh. Orange box. Yeah, $20. $20, you get Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Portal, and Team Fortress 2.
Which, technically, it's not the game itself, it's just the premium DLC, which gives you a pad and more space on your inventory.
Exactly. TF2, we've mentioned multiple times, is gonna be a recurring character for the rest of this show, I imagine, because TF2, at least in terms of games that I have tracked on Steam, is the game that I easily have the most hours in. I have over 1,000 hours in Team Fortress 2. That game, I've been playing since like 2012. It's been a huge part of my life for a very long time.
Oh wow. Well, in my case, I don't play that much TF2. I dedicated a few hundred hours, but not that much, because I was using TF2 just to get out of League of Legends.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it ended up working because I had a lot of fun with that. I ended up learning how to play Engineer at first, then jump into Scout, Medic, and all of that. And nowadays I play more Medic than anything else. I play the casual, like Engineer on Turbine or 2-4 just because. It feels fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun sometimes.
Good for you playing Medic. We need more medics in this world.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching this and you play TF2, play Medic. Don't be an asshole. Play Medic.
Play Medic with Uber, not with Kriskri.
With Uber, not crits. If there's already an Uber medic, then play a crits medic.
Or if you want to play crit medic, go to MVN. That is
Go to
right.
MVM.
Yeah, that's where it works the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, the game I do have those 1,000 hours though is Warframe. I I ended up literally leaving League of Legends to play Warframe, so that was a game that worked, like to replace League of Legends, and I ended up playing through like I still don't believe it, but it's 4 years now.
Wow.
I still don't believe it passed 4 years since I started in 2018. Oh, dude, time really flies. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, instructions.
I have a few friends that are into Warframe. I think I technically have it in my Steam library, but I have never launched it once.
Yeah, never do that unless you want to play Teamfight Tactics. Never do that. I recommend you, if you want to play something League related, play the card games or the other games that are out. Don't go to League.
Don't play League.
or if you want the narrative alone, you have a page dedicated to that, and I love that.
Yeah,
I really love
that's
that page.
true. That's true. And you have the show. You have the show. Watch the
Arcane.
show.
Arcane. Yeah.
Watch Arcane.
Oh, Arcane is really good.
Watch Arcane. Don't play League. Watch Arcane.
Oh, yeah.
I like him saying that, but I am like not any better. I don't play League, but I did play Valorant for a little while.
Oh, that's fine.
I
I mean,
I'm embarrassed to say, but I did play Valorant for a little bit.
Valorant is, I think of all the Riot IPs, Valorant is the farthest away of League of Legends. Like, it doesn't have to do at all with League.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Well, it has a few skins related to League, but
Yeah.
more or less it's basically another game, completely different from the series itself. So yeah, Valorant is fine. Besides, Valorant is literally a mix between Overwatch and CS:GO at this point. So if you have experience on Valorant, I think you will click with both CS:GO and Overwatch.
Like weirdly, I've never been able to connect with either of those games, Overwatch or CS:GO. I don't know why. And I'm gonna say my reasons why I haven't connected with those games, and it should apply to Valorant too, but for whatever reason, I still played it for like a year. I really don't like how like competitively focused Overwatch is. Overwatch is very much like inspired by like TF2 and its gameplay, but TF2 is unique in that while it does have competitive aspects, it is balanced like a party game. It's balanced like a silly party game, and has a lot more like social spaces, both in terms of like community servers and also like just like in the maps themselves, there are just sometimes spots just in the map that you don't really go through very much in the normal course of gameplay, but occasionally you'll just find like two like friendly heavies just like throwing sandwiches at each other.
Yeah.
In like a random corner of the map.
Oh,
And
I
like
love that.
that's so unique. That's so unique. That doesn't happen in any other game. And I feel like that's very much tied to like how first-person shooters used to work for a long time, where they were very, very community-driven things. Like even Quake 3, which was a highly, highly competitive. Like there were big, like money, like tournaments for Quake 3. But most of the servers were like community servers that had their own mods installed. Same with TF2. There's so many community servers with unique mods installed on them.
Ooh.
Unreal Tournament has that in spades as well. The old Counter-Strike games have that in spades.
Wasn't like TF2 like didn't Team Fortress itself started as a Quake mode?
Yeah.
So
the original Team Fortress was a mod for Quake 1.
Oh,
and then the company got bought by Valve, and they asked them to develop it in Gold Source, which was the Half-Life engine, and that's how we got Team Fortress Classic, and eventually, obviously, TF2.
Right.
Fun fact, the original Team Fortress is an Aussie game. The original Team Fortress development team were Australian. And
Hell
I think that's
yeah.
fucking awesome. I think that's fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that there are very few like social spaces within first-person shooters anymore, because all the first-person shooter games that dominate like the competitive scene these days, Valorant, CS:GO, Overwatch,
Yeah, Call of Duty.
there's like hardly any community spaces for those anymore. Obviously, there's no community servers. Overwatch has like the workshop. I don't think it's called the workshop, but it's something like that.
It's something like community servers on TF2, our custom game modes and all of that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it works.
So that's the closest we've gotten to that in terms of Overwatch. But it is in the back seat. It takes a back seat to the competitive modes in those games, and I don't know. That makes me sad. I miss being able to just sort of be silly in someone's community server. That just doesn't happen in first-person shooter games anymore. Because like I don't care about being competitive. I like made peace with myself like years ago that I don't care about being good at video games. I don't care. I just care if I'm having fun with them. And oftentimes, if I am like trying hard to be good at like TF2 or like Valorant or something like that, I will have less fun.
Same here. That's part of the reason why I wanted to leave League of Legends so hard, because it's a super competitive focused game. I wanted something that let me play at my own pace. I want to play myself, right? Like, I want to play what I want to play. I want to play how I wanted to play. Like, it's just that.
Now, just because I don't care about being good doesn't mean that I'm bad. I am pretty fucking good. I'm addressing a chat message. Hi, Patch. So there's a mod of TF2 called Open Fortress. Do you know about this?
Open Fortress is basically Quake but with TF2 graphics, if I remember. Yeah, you have multiple weapons. The agents are all kind of the same, but you can customize them on a way that looks personalized.
Okay.
I love it.
Perfect. You know about it already.
Mm-hmm.
I've been obsessed with that game recently. I've been playing it since like 2019. If not, maybe even a little earlier. I don't know. I've been playing it for a long time. Considering that it's a relatively new thing. And I fucking destroy all my friends at that game. Like I said, I don't care about being good. However, I am good at it. So like...
Yeah, part of the reason that makes you good is not caring at all.
I think that's true. I think that's true. I think part of the thing that motivated me to keep playing it was because I didn't feel any pressure to like continue practicing. I just like enjoyed the gameplay enough that I kept playing.
Yeah, that's why it keeps myself playing fighting games. Is because I know how stuff works. I just take my time to just experiment a little bit. What can I do? What can connect with what? And that's just a fun time just for me. I love that. Same with TF2. TF2 was a game that I love dedicated time to. Every time I got the opportunity to replay it and get back into it, I don't feel pressure to just get back. But when I go back, I stay for a little bit, enjoying my time. Maybe playing Demo Man, maybe trying out Soldier. I'm maybe trying to learn Rocket Jump, but I still don't know how to do that. I still don't know how to do that.
If you ever need a rocket jump coach, I'm your girl. I make no claims of being the best at rocket jumping ever, but I'm pretty good. I'm pretty fucking good.
All right, I'll hit you up for that. Yeah. Because I really want to learn rocket jumping, but it's hard.
It's a skill. It's a skill.
Yeah, it's hard. I need to practice a lot of that. Also connecting jumps to jumps and all of that. I have an easier time doing that with Demo Man than with Soldier.
Sure, absolutely. Demo Man you have a button that you can press to time the explosion. It's not that hard. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. What else I have on the docket? Oh, quick question. Can you tell me about Mega Man? Can
I tell you about Mega Man?
Yeah, tell me your story with the Blue Bomber.
So I think I've mentioned Mega Man once already during this thing. So yeah, Mega Man is a game that I like fell in love with as a kid. And Mega Man 7, yep, Cinco. Cinco is a Mega Man fan with me.
Hell yeah.
I am a weirdo. I like the classic Mega Man series, and that's about all I've played. And it all started really. So like when I was a kid, I had like a bunch of like NES games that I inherited from my dad from when he was a kid. We had Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 is the one that I think you could argue is probably the best one, or at the very least the one most people have played. There are some Mega Man crazy fans that will yell at you for saying Mega Man 2 is the best one. Whatever, I don't care. Fight me, I don't care. It's not my personal favorite, but I think it's probably the one that is the best game, like gameplay-wise, like design-wise. Anyway, so I had Mega Man 2 growing up as a kid, and then when we had a Wii, we bought Mega Man 10 on the Wii eShop, and I played the fuck out of Mega Man 10. God, I like could not stop playing that game. That one is still my favorite to this day, is Mega Man 10. And I've gone back and played a bunch of the other games in the series, and yeah, it's really great. I love it for the same reason that I talked about earlier, that I love Dark Souls. It's a game with very simple mechanics, but like really like difficult level designs, and it's all learning patterns and repeating those patterns. And there's something, I don't know, there's something addicting about like doing it over and over and over and eventually getting it and like getting to move on to the next part. It's really fun to me. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for liking that, but I think it's awesome.
I mean, learning a pattern and an overwhelming boss you defeated after a while, that's always super satisfying.
Yes.
That's a satisfaction you can get on games. And difficult games specifically, yeah. I know that. But
I love the old school Castlevania games for that exact same reason. It's a game with very simple mechanics that has just really difficult enemy placements and really difficult bosses. And I'm fucking here for that. Throw that shit at me. I'm here. I'm ready.
I suppose you know about the PS3 Castlevania multiplayer game.
I do know about it. I've never played it. But I'm very, like, curious about it.
Okay, so after the stream, I need to hit up a friend that knows about it and how to play it online nowadays. So, yeah. I might give you the info too, because I'm pretty sure you will have
it's
it.
Like an online. It's like an online like mashup of a bunch of the other Castlevania games kind of combined into one. And you can like team up and play through the levels and like beat the bosses together. Exactly. That's what I understand it as.
It is. It is like that. Both of you have to explore all the dungeon, or well, the castle or whatever the location
whatever
is.
Whatever the fuck, yeah.
Yeah, and just go there, destroy the enemies, collect items, and fight the boss. That's it.
Yeah.
That seems pretty fun. Actually, I still need to like ask my friend to give me the info about that.
Yeah.
Because they found a way to play it online nowadays. So, yeah.
Yeah. There's like two different kinds of 2D Castlevania. There's like the classic Castlevanias, which are like the Mega Man style games where it's like just like linear progression, difficult, like really high difficulty, action platformer. And then there's the Metroidvanias, which are exactly what you would expect them to be: big interconnected levels with like a map and backtracking once you gain new abilities, and a comparatively lower difficulty level for sure. The Metroidvanias are definitely not as like hard as the classic Castlevanias. They're still fantastic. I fucking love them to death. And then there's the weird 3D Castlevanias that were on like the PS2 that are like kind of Metroidvania-y, kind of
DMC.
like they're Devil May Cry ripoffs.
Yeah, I had a friend that was playing that the other one day, and I saw that and I said, wait a minute, are you playing Castlevania? I thought this was Devil May Cry or something.
This is Devil May Cry. Yeah.
It was funny, but it looks legit. Like, it looks good for a 3D attempt for Castlevania. It looks really good.
They are pretty good. If you ever get a chance to try the PS2 Castlevanias, they're pretty good. I don't think they're as good as like Devil May Cry in terms of like the genre. I feel like they're more so to play if you are like insane about Castlevania like I am. Like, the gameplay is good enough that you will have fun no matter what your situation is. But it's like, I don't know, they're like pretty good. They're no masterpieces by any means.
Quick question: Does it have platforming? Like,
kind of. I don't remember actually.
Because if the platforming is like DMC1, I'm not playing that at all. I already suffered through DMC1 on stream, and let me tell you,
I don't think if there is platforming, I don't think it's that important of an aspect of the game. I think it's majority like a hack and slash, like DMC.
I hope so, because DMC1 platforming is the worst thing you can play. I already experienced that through. I'm not playing DMC1 again.
Yep.
Not at all.
I've seen many people suggest that you skip DMC1 and just start with DMC2.
Yeah, I know why. The bosses are cheap. The only boss I found like fun to fight were the spiders and Nilo Angelo. That's all you get for a fun boss fight. After that, holy water the fuck out of that Glyphon, because that thing will burn out your existence. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, cool. Now I know I need to tackle the 2D Castlevania first. Also,
yeah.
What is your opinion about the Judgment game?
Judgment?
Castlevania Judgment.
Castlevania Judgment. I don't even think I know what that is. What the fuck?
It's a Castlevania fighting game, which is funny.
Oh my god, I've heard of this. I have heard of this. I've never played it even once, but I think it's kind of neat as like this weird like crossover game. The character designs in Castlevania Judgment are fucking wacky. They are so wacky. And I know there's a character that like talks about another character's like big boobs or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about Castlevania Judgment apart from those things. It's definitely something. Definitely something.
I mean, I understand that, but I'm surprised you didn't try it. like it's a Castlevania game, but it's a fighting game. I assume you are not much into fighting games.
I'm not huge into fighting games, unfortunately. I'd
Understandable.
love to be, because I have so many friends that are fans of fighting games. I don't know, they're scary to me.
Oh, don't worry about it. One thing I usually recommend people that want to get started into fighting games is to just look at the design of the characters, look at the music, look at whatever point you consider a good point to buy a game, but look carefully because you need to try it. Like you need to invest time on practicing and learning what you need to do. And for that, there is no easy fighting game I can recommend to you. That's a choice that you need to make. Because I can recommend you start with Guilty Gear Strive, but
I have Guilty Gear Strive.
I can recommend you that, but that doesn't mean it will click with you. You need to look into the characters, you need to look into what you like, and when you click with a character that looks like it could be fun, invest the time on learning it. That's all that is. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
The time it will take a lot, but yeah, it's a fun time.
I have a friend, Madam Gata, who promised to teach me how to play Guilty Gear, and so I'll get there. I'm sure I'll get there eventually.
For sure. It's a really fun time. Besides, you have experience already with technically a fighting game, which is a platform fighter known as Smash Bros. And multiverses.
I'm somewhat familiar with what the fighting game community thinks of Smash Bros, and it's not positive things.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about more mechanically speaking. You know how to move yourself. You played multiverses and you click with the game a little bit, so it seems that some of the mechanics stick it with you, so you will have a good time on Strive, I'm pretty sure.
I hope you're right.
Besides, just listen to the soundtrack. That have to spark something. I love the soundtrack of that game. But yeah, let's see.
Nice!
Yeah, I think we have a good time here. Anyone you will recommend for rating?
Anyone I'd recommend for rating?
Mm-hmm. I need to check.
You've given me power.
Of course, I'm giving you power. You're the guest.
Thank you. This was fun, by the way. I had a great time. Thank you for having me. This was an honor.
Oh, one more thing. Are you okay if we repeat this? I also had a lot of fun, and I would like to repeat this sometime.
Yes, you are welcome to have me as a guest in the future. I'm gonna be getting a very neat little live 2D model in the near future. So
yeah, I'm going to wait after that. So yeah. I can show the evolution of my guests.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let me flip a coin real quick. Let me flip a coin.
Go ahead.
Go. Okay, we are going to raid Viral Galaxy. She's playing Half-Life Alyx right now.
Ooh, can you give me the name?
Yes, I'm gonna DM you the thing. There.
Okay.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Let me... Alright.
Woo!
This was really fun. Thank you for accepting. So.
Yes, I had a fantastic time. Again, no need to apologize because I totally didn't oversleep. That didn't happen. Nope.
Not at all.
No oversleeping happened here. I'm always on time. I'm always very prompt with dates and requirements and schedules.
Don't worry about it. I was the one technically who overslept here. Don't worry about it. Like I said before, this happened before to me, so it's normal here. We are in for the scuff. So yeah,
It's
thank you.
part of the VTuber experience.
Oh, for sure. Thank you guys for showing up to this stream. This was a really crazy month, and thank you again, Noelle, for being here. It was a pleasure.
Hey.
And hope to see you next time. And see you guys on the next weekend. Bye.
Woo!